You've been told to just manage your symptoms. But what if your problem is hiding below the surface? Welcome to Root Cause Wellness.
Ah, that first cup of coffee in the morning. For so many of us, it's not just a drink, it's a ritual. It's the one thing that makes us feel human. But what if I told you that very same ritual, that beloved cup of coffee, is secretly the architect of your daily anxiety, your brain fog, and that crushing afternoon fatigue? We're going to dive deep into this because the science of what's really happening inside your body every morning is, well, it's pretty shocking. So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You get your 8 hours. You really do. But you wake up feeling like you've been run over by a truck. You're just completely depleted until that first cup works its magic. If you've ever asked yourself why that is, you are about to get your answer. And here's a hint. It probably has nothing to do with how much you slept. It's all about a chemical trap you fall into every single morning.
We all say it, right? I mean, we practically have it printed on mugs. And it feels so true, doesn't it? That warm cup feels like the only thing standing between you and a day of just staring at a screen. This feeling is so universal that we've just accepted it. We think it's normal. But I'm here to tell you it's not. It's actually the very first clue that something in our daily routine has gone fundamentally wrong.
All right, so let's start by peeling back the layers on the first and maybe the most deceptive part of this whole cycle. We're going to call it the morning ritual lie, because that comforting, I can do this feeling you get, it isn't just about the warmth or the routine, it's actually your brain's reward system being hijacked. See, this all comes down to a feel-good chemical in your brain called dopamine. It's what your brain uses to say, hey, that was good, do it again. And when you drink that morning coffee, you get a nice little hit of it. It feels good, it feels rewarding. So your brain starts to crave that ritual. But here is the catch, and it is a big one. That feeling is just a chemical illusion of well-being. It is not real energy.
And this chart? Wow, this chart tells the whole story. Over time, your brain's dopamine receptors get tired. They get desensitized. So that amazing boost you used to feel from one cup, it starts to fade. You can see it right here. The response from habitual use just plummets. Pretty soon, you're not even drinking coffee to get a boost anymore. You're just drinking it to feel normal, to claw your way out of the fog, and to satisfy a craving that your brain is now screaming for.
Okay, so if that good feeling isn't real energy, then where does that alert, focused feeling actually come from? Well, this brings us to our next big idea, your brain on a loan. Because the energy you feel from caffeine isn't created out of thin air. No, it's borrowed. You see, all day long, a chemical called adenosine is building up in your brain. Just think of it like sleep pressure. The more it builds, the more tired and sleepy you feel. It's your body's natural way of saying, hey, it's time to rest. Now, here's caffeine's big party trick. Its molecules look so much like adenosine that they can slide right into those adenosine receptors and block them. It's literally like putting a brick under your brain's brake pedal. The sleep pressure is still building up, you just can't feel it yet. And here is the bottom line, and we all know this deep down. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Real energy is generated by things like good sleep and proper nutrition. The energy you get from caffeine is just borrowed from later in the day. And just like a high-interest payday loan, it always has to be paid back. And trust me, the interest rates are brutal. This is what leads to that predictable, miserable daily cycle. You feel like a superhero at 8 a.m., but then, a few hours later, the caffeine starts to wear off, and all that adenosine you were blocking comes rushing back in. Boom! By 1 p.m., you hit a wall of fatigue. By 3 p.m., you're irritable, your brain feels like mush, and you're craving sugar. Scientists call these micro-withdrawals, and they're hitting you every single afternoon, masked only by, you guessed it, another cup of coffee. But masking fatigue, borrowing energy, that's really only half the story. And honestly, it's not even the most dangerous half. The much bigger, more sinister problem is what caffeine is doing to your nervous system. This is where we go from just feeling tired to feeling a constant, nagging, all-day anxiety. Get ready for this, 5 times. Yeah. Research has shown that a single serving of caffeine can cause a 5-fold, that's a 500% increase in the stress hormone adrenaline, also known as epinephrine. Just let that sink in for a second. Every single morning, you are choosing to spike your body's primary emergency hormone by 500%. So what does this massive adrenaline spike do? Well, it flips the switch on your sympathetic nervous system. Think of this as your body's ancient, hardwired emergency alarm. It's designed to save your life if you're, being chased by a tiger. It's the fight or flight response. It is not designed to be switched on when you're just sitting at your desk trying to answer emails. So let's just walk through this chain reaction. Step 1, you drink your coffee. Step 2, adrenaline spikes through the roof. Step 3, that signals your body to release another stress hormone, cortisol. And step 4, boom, your body is now locked in a state of low-grade fight or flight. Your heart is beating faster, your muscles are tense, and you're left swimming in a soup of physical anxiety for hours, long after that initial energy has faded.
So, we have a desensitized reward system, a borrowed energy loan we can't pay back, and a nervous system stuck in stress mode. But believe it or not, it can get even worse, because now we're going to talk about what happens when you combine your morning coffee with a very common breakfast. This creates a metabolic disaster that I like to call the panic attack breakfast.
So what is it? What is this one critical mistake that so many of us make every single day? What are you doing that takes this already stressful chemical situation and turbocharges it into a full-blown physical anxiety event?
The answer is so simple, it's shocking. You're pairing it with carbohydrates. Yeah, we're talking about toast, bagels, oatmeal, hash browns, that muffin from the coffee shop. Combining caffeine with a carb-heavy breakfast is the perfect recipe for a blood sugar crash that feels almost identical to a panic attack. So let's look at what's supposed to happen. When you just eat carbs for breakfast, say a piece of toast, your blood sugar goes up a bit and then gently comes back down. You can see it here. It's a normal, manageable response. Your body's got it handled, no problem.
Now, watch what happens when you add coffee to the mix. Remember that 5x adrenaline spike? Well, one of adrenaline's main jobs is to dump a ton of stored sugar into your bloodstream for quick energy. So now you've got the sugar from the carbs you ate, plus a massive flood of sugar released by the adrenaline. The result? An absolutely explosive blood sugar spike, followed by a catastrophic crash way below the baseline. And that crash? The racing heart, the shakiness, the jitters, the sudden brain fog, your body interprets that physical chaos as an anxiety attack.
Okay, I know that was a lot of bad news. It's pretty intense stuff. But here's the really good news. You are not powerless here. Not at all. You can absolutely break this cycle. So let's move on to our final section and talk about how you can start reclaiming your energy and finally calm your nervous system down. We're going to cover 3 simple, science-backed strategies to get you there. And no, this doesn't mean you have to quit coffee forever, unless you want to. It just means you have to be way smarter about how you use it. These 3 steps are all about putting you back in the driver's seat. So how do we do this? Okay, first, the golden rule. And this one is non-negotiable. Never have caffeine with a carb-heavy meal. Have it with protein and fat instead. That one change alone will prevent that disastrous blood sugar roller coaster. Second, try rotating your caffeine days. Maybe drink it every other day. This gives your brain's receptors a break and a chance to reset, so the caffeine is way more effective when you do have it. And finally, if you feel like you really need a total system reboot, consider a 30-day caffeine reset. This is the ultimate way to heal those dopamine pathways and pull your body out of that chronic state of fight or flight. And at the end of the day, that's the question this all comes down to, isn't it? Are you in control of your coffee, or is it controlling you? That morning ritual is powerful, for sure, but understanding the chemistry behind it, that gives you the power. By making a few of these small adjustments, you can actually transform coffee from a daily trap that causes anxiety into a powerful tool that you control, and not the other way around.
Remember, true health is about getting to the underlying root cause, not just managing your symptoms with a label and a pill.